Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Marcus Moments. Today, we're going to be talking about white privilege. Like that. Just kidding. We're going to be talking about white privilege because white privilege is one of them things that just pisses me the fuck off. And it's not from a jealousy standpoint, like I don't have privilege, because I definitely don't want what white privilege entails, at least in my mind. Because to me, white privilege allows for a certain level of denial, which I think is along the lines of cognitive dissonance. Like they need to rationalize why they don't need to feel a certain way about the issues that pertain to race, especially when it comes to black people, because God forbid, when the Jews was all getting knocked out over the knockout game back 3 years ago, everyone was feeling sympathetic for them. But yet, and still, black people are still getting killed and abused by the police left and right, and ain't nobody standing up and saying shit about that. Just like Sister Soldier said in her video, where are all the good white people at? She wants to see them. She wants to meet them. Because, when white people take an issue, take a stand on an issue, they come out to the tens and thousands. You can catch them marching or protesting and they ain't gonna take no shit. But when it comes to black issues, where are they at? They're not to be found, not to be said, and ain't nobody trying to talk about it. And if they are trying to talk about it, it's always from the standpoint of, well, what was that black person doing? And, why were they shouldn't have been stealing, or they shouldn't have ran, or they shouldn't have did this. See, that's cognitive dissonance, and that's a way that you need to rationalize that mentality. And that is a white supremacist mentality. That is imperialism, because you are still thinking of black people as less than human. Because maybe if they should have just abided by the laws, they wouldn't have sagged their pants, or they wouldn't have been listening to that rap music, then none of this would have happened. And that's fucking bullshit. And also another thing that pisses me off is all these people who are focused on the whole transracial or transgender thing. Again, good for Caitlyn and good for her, but there's more important motherfucking issues going on. And you can get mad at the fact and say that it's not a distraction, but it is. Because there's shit going on down in the Dominican Republic, there's shit going here on the home front, there's the fucking transatlantic trade, the trans-pan-Pacific trade going on. There's all kinds of shit. But yet we're focused on motherfucking Rachel Dolezal and her fucking, what she identifies as, and now the bitch is now saying that she's bisexual or some shit. She needs to go have a seat. A guy made a post about Hillary Clinton and how, Hillary Clinton's on the rise and blah, blah, blah. She needs to go have a seat. Because until we as black people can figure out what we're going to do with ourselves, we don't need to worry about all these other white people trying to get our vote, be a part of our community, trying to get our money through music, Macklemore. We need to be doing for ourselves in that realm, especially where money goes. But going back to white privilege, because I'm getting a little sidetracked. White privilege just allows for white people to say that they care about a particular issue, let's say pertaining to like civil rights or some shit, and then at the end of the day still go home and just put it right on the back burner, completely forgot about it. Like, I did my part for the day, I went out and protested. And that's bullshit, because if you really want to be down or you really want to be an ally, then you need to get your knowledge on. You need to start opening some books. You need to start doing some research. You need to start watching so much goddamn TV. You need to start reading a book and educating yourself. Because sitting around and just watching the news and seeing and chit-chatting here with your friends here and there and discussing it with them is not doing shit, because your other white friends are not trying to educate you on the shit that's going on in black communities with black problems. So if you really want to help, then let's understand that you do have white privilege, and that privilege needs to be set aside, and you need to come down to our level and understand what we're going through, whether that be talking to local black people about what's going on in their communities or whatever. There's things that can be done. I hate these white people who say, there's nothing I can do. No, there's plenty of shit that you can do. As a matter of fact, you guys are the problem. The ones that deny that you have white privilege. You are the problem. Period. Because it's you who are the ones who see the shit that's going on. It's you who are the one who have racist people in your family, and you know you have racist people in your family, but you are too much of a fucking pussy to stand up to them and actually do something about it. Instead, you just say, "Oh, I don't like that. Don't do that around me." If you don't like racism, if you're not about racism, you should stand up for it and tell that person, like, fuck that. That's bullshit. You should educate them that why it is bad, because they are ignorant, and you are just as ignorant if you just chuck it up to no, just don't do it around me. You could do that all you want, but don't do it around me. That's fucking bullshit, and you are a racist too. You're a fucking racist. If you are not trying to put a stop to it within your family, your friends, and your circle, you're a fucking racist too. And I don't give a fuck. And fuck you. And that's truly how I feel on that shit. Because we're now in a day and age where you cannot deny that there is shit fucked up with the black community going on all around the world. And for white people to just sit back and keep a silent, turn a blind eye, get mad at protests left and right, they just don't want to speak on it or just want to like dance around issues and act like everything's fucking okay, is bullshit. That's why so many motherfucking white people read all this fantasy bullshit, because they can delve into fantasy. That's their escapism. They don't have to fucking live in the real world. That's why they live in RPG, all these video game role-playing games, because they don't have to live in this fucking world that we live in, this fucked up world. They can escape. They can go on vacation. They can travel the country. They can do all that shit. That's white privilege. This video may not be like fully fluent, but it was off the top of my head and I needed to get some shit out because I've been holding on to this thought for a minute now. And it's just, it really, really pisses me off, because then you have black people like me, black people on Facebook or I'm friends with who are just educated and know about shit going on around the world. And then you got ignorant ass white people who want to come to you and ask you all the questions, like you the motherfucking Guinness, like know it all, like you just know every motherfucking thing. Like, I'm not Google. I'm doing my own research on shit too, but you have a computer, you got all the education in the world. You got all the colleges. You got all the privilege to go to all these colleges. If you want to know something, you should crack open a motherfucking book. Don't be trying to question me on down to the T, to every fucking word that I say, because not everything that I say is always right. But you know what? What I believe in, I stand for, and I say it with much conviction, because in my heart I believe it to be true. And I don't have all the answers, and I don't act like I do, but there's no reason that you white people who claim that you don't have white privilege should be going on day to day acting like you don't know what's going on in the world. There's no fucking excuse. There's no excuse. Your world is not that motherfucking busy, okay? Your world, there's nothing that in your world that is that important that you cannot take a moment out of your day to understand what is going on in black issues and with black people. Period. None of your Dancing with the Stars, none of your motherfucking Judge Judy, none of your fucking Desperate Housewives, none of that shit. That's all fucking bullshit, and it's all a distraction. You can call it entertainment if you want, but all it's doing is entertaining your brain and dumbing you down. Filling it with fucking nonsense so you could talk about nonsense when you go out and sit with other people who are talking about nonsense, not doing shit. Anyway, white privilege, yes, it's real. And white people need to stop acting like they don't have it. And not all of them, but a lot of them. We're talking a good 85%. And that's all I have to say about that shit. So, peace out. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day off now.